Hello, hello.
Hello, John. You hear me?
Hello. Yeah, I hear you good.
Yeah, I don't know why. I hardly hear you.
Hello, check 1 2. Check 1 2. Let me see if I can fix it. MacBook Air, same as. I don't know how to adjust. Better? Hello, check 1 2. Better or no? You want me to try to log back on?
I don't know why.
Are you there?
You hear me well?
Yeah, I can hear you good.
Yeah, I hear hardly. Last time we did this podcast, again, I was hearing you very hardly. I don't know why it was.
And I thought I had fixed that. I had changed my microphone from this handheld microphone to the computer microphone. Let me switch it back to this the high res mic. See if that makes any difference. Does that make any difference? Make any difference? Hello, check 1 2. Yes, are you there? Can you hear me?
I don't hear you.
Oh. Okay, how about now? Still very low, huh? Let me jump out and I'll jump back in. I'll try to adjust the microphone. I'll be right back.
Okay, you have the link here. Normally, I have another phone with me and to read the chat, but today I don't have. I'm in Antalya, and I only have one phone. But my friend Josh will join. Yeah, Josh came also.
Hello, Engin.
Hello, my friend. How are you?
I'm good. I have a Halloween background because it's almost Halloween here in the United States.
Looks like since I don't hear you very well either, so that must be something wrong with my phone, not with your phone.
I can hear you fine. Let's see. Yeah, my audio's up. I'm good.
Okay, can you follow the chat, Josh?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay,
And
how about we do like this? Since it is on my channel anyways, I get out and I come back. You guys let me in, okay?
sounds good.
Okay.
Let's see here. Everybody says the sound is good online. How are you, John? Oh, I can't hear you now. Technology. You guys might have a podcast with just me. Aren't you lucky? Well, can you hear me, John? So I can't hear you. Let's see. Yep, my volume's up. Weird. It's funny, everybody online saying that everything's perfect. Oh, now we can't hear you. I can't hear John either.
Now I hear good. You guys hear me well?
I can hear you again. I can't hear John though.
Oh, okay. Maybe John was nice, but now because problem was with my phone, and then maybe I messed his sound by changing something.
Who
And
knows?
what does people say on the chat?
People say they can't hear John, but they can hear us.
Okay, they hear us, but not John.
Correct.
We don't hear you. I mean, I don't hear it. Can you do the beginning one? Because some people said that your sound was okay because I couldn't hear. Pradeep wrote me a message. He said your sound is okay,
Okay.
and you do the beginning.
How about now?
Now, yes.
Now I can hear you.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah.
You would think we've done this enough times that we would remember and get this shit down, but it's still impossible.
Yeah.
I think it was my fault. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's very early there, huh, John? 7 o'clock.
Yep, 7 o'clock. But I got up early. I normally get up around 4:30, so I was up by 5:30 today. So no worries, everybody.
Wow, 4:30, huh? You Americans get up
Well,
early.
I start work at 6, so it takes me a little while to drink coffee and take a shower, and then it's about a half-hour commute to work. So it takes time. I don't work from home like some people do.
And how are the trainings?
Training's been going good. I probably, I told you I took about I don't know, 6-8 week break of doing basically nothing, just trying to rehab my body. I think I was arm wrestling a little bit too much because after about the 3rd or 4th week, I started feeling like aches and pains I didn't know I actually even had. It's like, whoa, that hurts and that hurts. But yeah, no, I've got about 3-4 good workouts in, and yeah, I've been struggling with trying to figure out how to manage, the old age issues, the arthritis and the aches and pains and stuff. So it's kind of a balancing act between training too hard and causing myself to hurt versus, trying to, just stay healthy.
And
But,
how do you feel now? Do you feel like you recovered because of
Yeah, I feel pretty good. I feel pretty good. My weight's down. I'm within striking distance at 230. So I've been riding. I bought a electric bike, and some people will laugh and say, "Well, that's not exercise." But for me, being so out of shape, my electric mountain bike has really been keeping me, in pretty good shape. I live right next to a bike trail here system that makes it super easy just to jump on and go. So I've been, in fact, the other day I went for almost 2 hours. So I came back and my legs have never had the kind of work that they've had in the last few weeks. So I think it's helping my cardio a little bit. I mean, yeah, probably not, but I'm telling myself that it's actually helping. So it makes me feel a little bit better.
You're in the minority, John. Most arm wrestlers don't do any cardio.
Yeah, well, some people actually even feel that it has a negative effect on their power, on their on strength. But yeah, overall health, feeling good throughout the day. I think it's definitely important. It's just hard to do, especially when you get a little bit older and you feel a little bit achy and there's always that feeling where I just don't feel like doing it. So, but yeah, no, everything's
because your match is 231 set with the Oleg Petrenko.
Yeah. So it's been nice. Yeah. Yeah. So I'm hoping to maybe just continue to do that. It's 4 or 5 weeks away yet. So, yeah. And then normally the last couple of weeks of not doing anything, I can, cut a pound or two, where I'm not training or anything. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully, everything, works out good.
And right now, where are you? Like, because you stopped training, I know you are healthy, but probably you are not as trained,
It's hard to say for me. I mean, sometimes I think I was pushing it so hard for the months previous, the Corey match and the Ungarbayev, and I think the extended rest has probably done me more good than bad. I mean, yes, my brain kind of says that I shouldn't be as in good a shape because I really haven't been, arm wrestling as much and training as much. But I mean, I don't know. I think for me at this point in my life, I think feeling healthy is way more important than being at a high level, strength wise or training wise. So if I can get my body to feel good, get rid of the shoulder aches, which is really the limiting factor for me, the last 10 years probably, then I'm going to be better on the table. I'm going to be stronger. I might not be better going to the gym and lifting, but I think I'm going to be a lot more effective on the table. So I'm feeling good going into this. I mean, I feel like I'm not overly trained. So, and I'm well rested. So,
John, when I had this stem cell therapy, the guy was checking everything, and he I don't know how he understood, but he said you have a damage here, and it's a nerve damage, and he gave me some vitamin B12 injection for 6 days
Okay.
in a row. And he said that yes, you have like cartilage missing in joints, it's damaged. He can see all, but he said that some of your strength, he said, Engin, is gone because the signal is not coming that healthy. So there is a nerve damage, he said, and he said that this is gonna probably that's the reason that the
Right.
our healing is not as quick, fast.
Of course, yeah. But even if it's not damage, I think it's just an old age issue, right? I mean, our quickness, our speed, that I've said it 100 times, that it just diminishes as you get older. So I mean, and that was such a huge factor for me personally when I was younger. It had a lot to do with my effectiveness on the arm wrestling table. I wasn't that strong, but I was able to generate that explosive hit that most strong men couldn't. So, but as I've gotten older, I've not been able to do that, and it's not from lack of training. It's just age. So you have to adjust and now become kind of more of a strength puller and a defensive puller, and it really changes things when you relied on that explosive hit so much as a kid. But yeah, no, B12 sounds like a interesting thing that he would say is healing the nervous system.
Yeah, he said that it's in my home. I didn't start yet because I want to first recover from this, because I still cannot really fist with these fingers. You see that they are still
right.
pressure. I did here. He hold and he said that especially these two are very damaged. I think these two are getting the most pressure. He said that this is the less damage because I don't think it is getting so much, but here is the most damage. Yeah.
Right.
And yeah, he told me, and then he said, use it like 6 days in a row, and whenever I go back, home, I'm at the World Championships right now as a trainer.
Okay.
So I'm already in Antalya, Joshua. You coming tomorrow?
Yeah, I'm leaving in a few hours, so I'll be there tomorrow evening.
Yeah. Grandmasters, huh?
Yeah, Grandmasters, that's my jam, man.
You ready? How is your elbow?
Yeah, I'm ready. I mean, my right arm is almost better. My left arm feels a lot better than last year. So hopefully,
let's see. I can't see the chat. If you see any super chat, you can tell me. Yeah,
I will do.
Yeah, because I don't see it. So John, I invited Petrenko, but we just said it this like 5 a.m. in the morning with my time. So I wrote him, he get up, he said he has to go to a wedding, close friend of him. He's getting married at the same time. So also there is WAF Congress right now. The president Niazi told me to join with him to translate, but I said no, I'm gonna meet John. So
I don't think I've ever met Petrenko. How's his English? Does he speak any English at all? Or no, zero. No, okay.
The other day, did you see that he was doing like many reps with 240 kilo squat?
Oh shoot, no, I ignore that stuff. I try not to even look at that. I don't want to get all psyched out,
The guy is strong. He's not as good as arm wrestler but he's strong, He's not like super technical guy like Ongarbe, but he's solid, But to me, it is better for you that you can apply your power, even if the opponent is stronger, but you can apply. You understand? It is just
it just depends on how solid and strong his hand and wrist are. I mean, if he's as strong as the guy that I pulled at the Moldova tournament, Murat. Oh yeah. I mean, if he's able to control me, inside, then he's gonna have his way with me. So if I can somehow keep the match outside.
His wrist is not as solid as
not as solid as that. So that's good. I've actually watched some of their matches where those two pulled, and I'm sorry, I'm messing up his name. Murat, is that how you
Margarin?
Margarin. Okay. Yeah, he ended up taking him almost to the pad, but then Petrenko caught him and then drug him back and beat him. So I was like, oh shit.
Petrenko has more horsepower, but the other guy has a strong wrist. So he
can put it in a good position.
And then once he catch him, the horsepower plays. But the Petrenko's wrist this way is not
it's going to be the same. No, okay.
No.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, right. Raimons Antonovic from Latvia. top rope.
Was able to stay outside. Okay.
Yeah.
So it gives me hope, but yeah, no, I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, I mean, and I guess you probably heard the news that I guess I'm being tracked down by the monster from Russia, Denis Saplinkov. So that's a scary thought. Actually, I was like, bring it on. But after watching some of his footage recently, and after watching him pull at King of the Table 2, I'm thinking, oh shit, he's looking like he's super strong.
Good topic. There's like 3 people asking you about that match in the chats about.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah. I'm gonna say yes. I'm gonna say yes for sure. I'm want to take the match just because it's Denis, and we both deserve to pull each other one more time. I guess both been kind of out of it. But yeah, that's going to be an extreme challenge. I'm going to have to ask for the. I watched your program with Devon the other day about the hustle strap. I need to be on the good side with the hustle strap for the first round and wear him out somehow to make it close. I have a feeling I'm going to be going in as a strong underdog. So, but yeah, it was exciting to hear that he wants to pull. So maybe we'll see that happen in February.
Devon also said that what's that?
I was going to say, John, do you think that there's going to be an issue with him like returning to the sport after so long away, similar to what we saw with?
I know he's been pulling with David Dadakan, and David looks strong against all the top arm wrestlers. I don't know why he's not putting his hat in the ring for right-handed super matches, but that guy looks like he could take on almost anybody, and Denis is holding him and doing stuff with him, and has been for months now. So yeah, I don't think I mean, I hear them saying, oh, we're not sure if Denis is going to be, we need one more doctor check to see if he's ready for his comeback. I'm like, he's plenty strong already. He's already made a comeback. He's already been arm wrestling for how many months now at a super high level, pulling with David. That just I don't know what more they're thinking that to make sure that he's able to be competitive or compete at a high level. To me, it's visible that he's already there, but
his shape was good enough to just
beat 99.9% of the public, right? Maybe he needs it.
Once told me that, Engin, I was in best ever shape, like better than you have seen me, any other time. And he said he directly went to pull Denis. And he said, Engin, I hit him as I have never hit anyone else. And he said that he hit the wall. He said that like a bus hit him. And then he said that, how long the match was? He said 1 second. And he said next day, he felt like a bus hit him, He was having pain everywhere because he hit him so hard. People see his match with Denis after Pushkar and Denis killed each other. But, when the guy is really fresh, he was just different animal,
Right. So, I mean, the big question will be for most people, including myself, can Denis get to the level to give Levon a match? Like I said, he's at the pinnacle of 99.9. Other than Levon, I think Denis probably could, at his current state, could probably pull with anybody right now. Whether or not he can get to super massive Denis that pulled Devon and actually give Levon, stop Levon somehow and give him a match, that's the question that needs to be asked. But yeah,
my personal opinion, the best of Levon would beat best of Denis, but just opinion.
You would think, just because of the hand and the size domination that Levon would have, he would be able to put Denis out of position. But Denis has got that pronating, not worried about losing your hands, almost King's move lock. I mean, he doesn't need to use a King's move because his bicep's so strong, but he's got an incredible, sticking point there that might be just enough to stop Levon. And, like I said, we still don't know how, all that muscle and that size is still the same little heart beating in there that, does his endurance level go down, down really quick if he gets stopped. So I'd still like to see it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
first round when Levon went pure outside, like wrist to wrist,
Right.
against Devon, he was just like 1 centimeter. He hardly came to the pad.
Right.
But the round two, whenever he went more sideways, he
Right.
was
Blast
more
right through.
dominant.
Yeah. Of course.
He was
Yeah.
So I don't know that kind of pressure on the round two. People said Devon got injured, but Devon got injured because of that hit and pressure.
Right. Of
And
course.
so I don't know if that kind of side pressure that flashed Devon. I don't know if anyone had that strong,
Right.
terrible.
Right. Right.
I don't
Well,
know.
so the question is whether or not Dennis is stronger than Devin to be able to stop that. Yeah. And then we'd see maybe possibly a match. I mean, I'm not saying that Dennis has the kind of endurance that Devin does, but maybe. I mean, maybe it would be interesting. Well, I mean, he's the only. Well, there's a few other competitive matches out there that, I mean, Jerry Caderet with the dump wrist getting locked in there. If Levon doesn't play it smart, it kind of he's a little lazy and just figures he can just control it. Might be able to do something.
Every week he's like, I'm telling you, I'm the one that's going to beat Levon. That's exactly.
Stop that. and negates his strengths a lot, of course, because he doesn't care. And if he can get jammed in there, it might be enough. But Levon's a beast. I mean, he might just turn.
Hermes thinks different. Hermes says that, when Levon has this position, he said he's like
solid,
solid, and to go this way is so strong. He's saying that the way to beat Levon is top row, and he said that he's the one that who has the chance.
He's got that posting style top roll that's effective against strong hand pullers like that. So yeah, I mean, I would agree with him. I mean, I think even he's got the same style as Travis does. I mean, if Travis gets big again and throws his hat in the ring and starts arm wrestling hard and solid again, he's another one that's explosive enough that could do something.
Is more like right now, lately, just more like, this Travis is more like,
Yeah. Well, Hermes needs to be like that with Jerry. He needs to definitely not be so much back pressure, because he'll end up putting himself in a horrible position. He needs to be his hand needs not to be pronated at all. It needs to be this way into Jerry. I mean, but it's a gutsy move when you got such a big guy,
I remember 2 days before the last East versus West, and we were eating, and I said, like, do you really believe that, Jerry, like, can beat Gennady? And you said, Engin, like, just if Gennady tries to top roll, and he said, just watch. This is what you said. Right. I was like, are you serious? And you said, yeah, just watch it. And do you have any similar feeling if Jerry is stronger than August? Because in August, he just had a 2.5-year break, and then 3 months preparation, he came to August. Now he had another 3.5 months. So my question is, do you think that if Jerry is 10-15% stronger than what we saw last time, do you think that, or what's his chance about, beating Hermes? Or what's Hermes' chance against him? Is it about the power, or is it about the pulling the right style?
Both of them have plenty of power to beat the other. It's going to be about, in my mind, it's going to be about technique. It's going to be about Hermes being in his head, confident enough and brave enough to stand up with Jerry and take him and be aggressive. And I know Hermes has got the speed to get him off center. If he is tentative or has any doubt in his mind at all and lets Jerry get just this much, behind his arm, then it's going to be a whole different ballgame for Hermes. So Hermes needs to make sure that balance tips his direction ever so slightly. If he does, and he doesn't run away from Jerry, then I think he's going to have the side pressure and the power to put Jerry in a bad position and possibly flash Jerry. So I think it's going to be, Jerry's going to come in probably with the mindset that he always does. I don't see that variable being as big as the confidence that Hermes is going to have that bravery and being spot on right and not being intimidated. But I think Hermes is capable if he goes in with the right game plan and attitude.
But the thing is, Jerry is gonna do what he has been doing for the last 30 years, while Hermes needs to some modification,
Right,
you know, for
right. And the evidence, the evidence is out there. Hermes can definitely do his research and see the few arm wrestlers in the world that have been effective against Jerry, and see how they approach Jerry. So yeah, but it's still different, you know, watching and then actually getting across the table.
Do you see the match like this, or do you see?
Yes, yeah, of course. Yes, I feel the match is going to be all about the setup and all about the go. I mean, it's going to be more about reaction and speed and just awareness and getting where you want to be than it is going to be about strength. I think the match is going to be won or lost on the go, you know, on the setup.
So Hermes is the one who shouldn't make any mistake.
Yeah, he just needs to be confident. Yeah, not so much mistake. I mean, he just needs to be spot on, off at the ready. You know, right before they say go, and have it in his mind that this is, you know, it doesn't feel right, but this is the best position and way to pull against Jerry. It's got to be aggressive, and it has to be knocking him off center. Don't let him get behind his arm, and don't let him bust his wrist back. Don't let him jump his own wrist.
Let me ask you something, John. Do you think that fouls are going to play a big part in the decision?
Well, anytime Jerry's up on the arm wrestling table, there's fouls. Well, typically because people are trying to still extend Jerry out, and Jerry's still trying to, you know, apply that side pressure. So the people are. It's not completely Jerry's fault that people are running off the back of the table and trying to pull Jerry out, but Jerry's trying to save himself, but in keeping that a decent angle by coming off the front of the pad, and sometimes it ends up completely coming off the front. Of course, it's funny. I mean, they're almost, you know, they're almost arm wrestling the same. They could arm wrestle on a little 1 centimeter pad because they're both shifted that full 8 inches or whatever it is of the elbow pad, right? I mean, so. Yeah,
that's what I'm
it'll
worried
be.
about.
Yeah.
I'm worried because I know Engen is going to have a little bit tighter roughing for that match. With
yeah, but the pads will be from front and sides and back will be 1 centimeter bigger. 1 centimeter from back. So Jerry will have 1 centimeter more from the back front, and then Hermes will have 1 centimeter, which is equal. And then from the sides, but we will say, hey, listen, Jerry, you have 1 more centimeter at the front. Hermes, you have 1 more centimeter from the back.
So it equals. So the distance between their elbows is what's key with Jerry. I mean, if Jerry had his way, I'm sure he would love to arm wrestle on a table that's closer. The elbow pads are closer together, of course, right? So like on WAL, when they're really far apart, I mean, Jerry has a really difficult time because somebody has that much room to really create that long angle. Jerry can't really get that. You know, his position.
Yeah, but Hermes will also have extra space, but any even tiny from here this way is okay. But if it is out from the edges, I will call it, because then I get headache, so much headache. Why you didn't call it?
Right.
I have nothing to do. I tell referees to just call what it is, and then at the end I get all the headache.
Hopefully we'll see Hermes not running off the back of the table. I think that's a mistake. I think Hermes needs to stand tall and fight and have the confidence that he has the power to go through Jerry's, you know, the center. If Hermes is in the mindset of he needs to run away, it's going to be, you know, then it's going to end up being bad for Hermes, and it's going to be.
How about like pulling again? You know, Jerry goes like this and he press. You know. But if you somehow curl his pronator and put him this position, it is hard to use the tricep. Your tricep will work that way. Now it's working there. So, like, is it possible that, you know, with your bottom finger and bottom wrist tendon here, to just a little bit side pressure and curl and roll? And you said that he shouldn't go back. You know, going back this way with the brachioradialis and going back this way, but not pulling your elbow only, but just making a lock here, and then
you want his arm to hit you here, and so you almost want to be needs to be your top roll. It can't be like this.
No.
If it's like that,
he will dive there. He will dive.
Right.
Yeah. So that's why I said that the curling not from this tendon, but from here,
Right.
and you know,
Right.
rowing and opening his biceps, so that, you know, we are none of us are that.
It all sounds good in theory until you get up against that 300 plus pound monster and he's like breathing fire on you and you're like, oh shit, I need to get away from this. Yeah.
Two super chats, and again, they're both about Dennis, and they're for John. The first one is from Levon's liver, and he's like, what body weight would you plan at for Dennis, and what kind of training would you do?
Well, my training is my training. It's just, it'll be the same. I mean, I am who I am. I don't expect to be able to gain any much more weight. I got way uncomfortable, and I think I was not as effective when I got up to 250 to pull Devon. I think it caused a lot of negative effects as far as my endurance and blowing up way too easily and quick. So, I mean, possibly peak weight would be 240 pounds. It seems to be a pretty comfortable, just eat whatever I can eat type of weight. And yeah, but training, you know, like I said before, it's at my age, it's I can't really train harder because it's got to be a balancing act. Because if I train too hard or try to push it too hard, I think I become hurt and more inflamed, and I've just become less effective. So, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, the key is just training just enough to be sharp. And like I said, for me, it's more important to be healthy and not have that inflammation and not have that soreness here and there and wherever else than it is to be extra bulky, extra strong, a little bit extra muscle. But yeah, for Dennis, I don't know. I would have to figure something out. Some type of game plan. I don't know. I can't compete with him in a hook, and my only chance would be the top roll. And I don't even know if that's possible, but yeah, I'd still give it my best effort.
Well,
but,
I think the way that you pull against him in Vegas in a super match is the way that you should pull, but you will know.
Yeah, but looking back on that, I you know, I'll be honest with myself that, you know, he was kind of young. He wasn't as good as he ended up turning into, or possibly is what he is even now. I think he's stronger and definitely smarter. In Vegas, even though it wasn't any strategy of my own, you know, looking back, especially with all that talk lately about the hustle strap, I was on the good side of the strap. It was the old way to apply the strap. It was the hustle strap. And
all 6 rounds? Come on.
No, the first round. But in a 6-round match, it's that plays such a key important role in the outcome of the 6 matches because of those factors. And that first match of taking him out of position and having him pull as hard as he did, it ruined him for the next 6 matches. I mean, if the roles were reversed and he had the good side of the strap in that first round, I think even at that time, he was probably strong enough to put me out of position that I would have worked extra hard. And then it could have been easily 6-0 for Dennis. So I think everything was perfectly in place at that time in Vegas. Yeah, so I don't see that repeating, but
I see you too humble.
Yeah, well, I just know, you know, I understand the situation better now, especially yeah. But
your face in that match, your face looked like you were in control the whole time.
I was in control. Yeah, but it was almost like, well, I'll switch the roles and say that this happened to me exactly the way I had made it happen to Dennis is my match with Devon. I mean, he had the good side. It was the hustle strap. He basically destroyed me mentally and physically after the first match that I just was like, I could never recoup. I mean, you know, when you're talking about a 2-minute rest and you expend that kind of energy, it ruins you. I mean, I felt the same way, even though, you know, the hustle strap wasn't used. It was just the regular strap. I felt my match with Ungarbayev when the position switched and I got on the bad side, and I felt like he got just enough jump instead of letting it go. If I'm fighting, expending the energy in the defensive position, especially, well, I guess it just depends on who you are. I mean, if you're somebody that's got great endurance, that doesn't seem to be a huge factor. But for someone that relies on still a little bit of explosivity, that basically ruins the super match. I mean, there's just no way for me personally, or a lot of people that are explosive arm wrestlers, to recover in that amount of time. So there has to be some, definite strategy as far as that goes. In my mind, anyway, it's still important to me. I mean,
how can you and Touchings, like, he thinks that it doesn't make any difference at all?
Well, I watched.
Devon says in the past it was making so much difference, but now
Yeah.
it doesn't
Well,
make so much difference.
and Devon is absolutely correct in that the way the old strap was applied, it was a huge difference. But the new strap is debatable. And watching your guys' discussion, I'm thinking to myself, okay, well, you can both be right. I think that the buckle on your opponent's hand still is a disadvantage. I think it's still an advantage to not have the buckle. But there's another couple variables in there that Todd is not using for his argument. So statistically, he's looking at matches left side, right side, but it's also not symmetrical. I mean, the referee's on the right side of you now instead of on the left side of you. So there's other factors that are playing that might equal out the fact that the strap is, in my mind, still an advantage when I don't have the buckle.
John, how about pulling style?
Yeah, I think pulling style probably makes a big difference too. I mean,
in top roll versus top roll, it makes no difference.
For me, it's huge. For me, any benefit of being on the left of the referee versus being on the right of the referee is way less than me not having the buckle. Still, even with the fair strap, I would rather always just not have the buckle and be on whatever side. But for a lot of people, it doesn't matter. And obviously, statistically, it's showing that being to the left of the referee is sometimes better than being, on the right of the referee. So there's other factors. I mean, if the referee switched positions too, then I think maybe Todd's, Hutchins' statistics might be a little bit more in line with the way I feel that how the strap has an effect on the outcome.
Yeah, when I go, like, I tried, usually I had solid wrist, and then I didn't so much feel that like during my career. But whenever I really paid attention, if both guys are going top roll, that buckle is just a little bit enabling your ability. But if the one is going inside, one is going outside, or both going inside, it's just kind of different.
Negates it, right?
Yeah. Do you, like, I told them that, it is, they said that it is not about the buckle, but to me, whenever you tight, there is a plastic there. The more you tight, is just putting there some pressure to one point instead of a smooth strap like this. There is one point is getting locked there. So, but Devon and Todd, they didn't think that it was about the buckle. But for me, the plastic that is just more you tight, it's just like putting some pressure on your wrist joint, there, But I have another question: how much there is an effect, negative way you say, but does it also bring you down psychologically that, oh, I'm here, when
maybe
it is causing more than what it is? But also another thing,
of course,
you told me after round one was so dominant against Ongarbayev, you said the second round you just wanted to also see what he is doing.
Sometimes, well, that's reflection afterwards. I think to myself, did I let down? Did I end up trying to be cute and try to pull like Devon and pull a little bit more outside and defensively after the go because I knew I was on the wrong side of the strap? I mean, I analyze it afterwards thinking, oh, was it my brain and head? But then again, maybe it was just Ongarbayev was, Fergali was just spot on better and just revved up even higher. I mean, obviously there's so many factors that go into it, but yeah, no, but
I talked with Ongarbayev. Devon said that Devon pulled with Ongarbayev 2-3 days before Ongarbayev pulled against Alex Kurdecha. I was so surprised. You're gonna have a match with Alex Kurdecha.
That's crazy. That's so crazy.
And I asked him, Mazgan. I said, Mazgan, we are friends. Like how did it go? He said that they were like this.
Close. Yeah.
Ongarbayev and Devon was close. But the interesting thing is that Devon went there as a guest. He didn't go there in a competition mood.
Right.
While Ongarbayev was ready to
pull Kurdecha.
So
obviously he walks around always ready though. If he's willing to pull 2-3 days before he's pulling a super match with Kurdecha. I mean, that's craziness.
Devon just had like some hours of pulling in Germany, and then he went to France and trained with all those, Kalinishenko, Prudnik, and some other guys. He trained there. I was like how? Like if I would pull 6 hours, next 3 weeks, just don't expect anything from me.
Yeah, no. I mean, and looking back, I can remember back the good old days when that was possible for myself, and I think that I was probably my strongest when my body responded and I was able to do that. My brother for a while there was pulling almost on a high level on a daily basis, and it was a little bit of a downward trend initially, but within a few weeks he was actually seeing his endurance and his strength and ability getting better. So, but yeah, at our age now, it's impossible. It's impossible. In 2 or 3 weeks, I'd be crippled. I'd not be able to, push myself out of bed. Which I
could do too. I would just train lifting hours and arm wrestle after that. But now I don't know how he does. I don't know. Maybe the stem cells that he had, maybe help him very good. Maybe
how your stem cell thing is too early for you to say whether or not it's helping or not.
The thing is, I feel my knee, elbow joint inside and wrist and fingers are better, but here is still pressure because probably they injected more than the capsule can handle, but it is getting better. But the thing is, he also did this to my lateral epicondylite, here. And that is hurting. After that gets healed up, I will lift. And then he said that, up to 4 months, that healing will continue. It doesn't mean that it will be bad after 4 months, but the healing will continue till 4 months, and then we will see, like how it will be. But mine wasn't like the others are doing with placenta or something. They took my own fat from my belly, and then they injected. They took the stem cells and injected. Yeah. And what was the other super chat?
The other super chat was from Juji, and it says, John, if you had to pull Siplenkov in 2 weeks, can you beat him? And would you do well with him right and left hand?
Oh, well, left-handed is the easy answer. I get crushed. I get crushed by anybody left-handed. Right-handed, it all depends on how good Dennis is. I mean, I'm in arm wrestling form. I mean, I am who I am. It would depend on Dennis. And I mean, just watching some of the matches he's pulling with at the high level guys that he's pulling against. And like I said, I'm comparing how he's been training with David Dodicon and how David's pulling against some of the top guys. I think it'd be a lot closer match than sitting around waiting for him to get in shape the next 3 or 4 months for sure. So I definitely would rather pull him right now in 2 weeks and then wait till January, February, or whatever they're proposing.
Yeah.
After you quit for like some weeks, and I saw you training with Eric Wolf.
Yeah.
You didn't seem very good. So there is improvement since that time to this time.
Yeah, of course.
That's what I was wondering. So, but you will go up till the Petrenko match probably.
Yeah. Well, like I said again, to me, it's all about having a good, like Devon will say, strong frame. I mean, as long as the joints and my inflammation is low and I feel healed, I can mentally go in and pop and hit hard and put. I mean, it's not about ramping up and being that 0.5% stronger because I'm lifting a little bit more. I see that, oh, my curls are, I'm in top shape because to me, that's never been what's been the key for me for arm wrestling condition. It's more about going in, feeling good and feeling healthy. So, and that's the struggle that I've been trying to deal with. It's not so much about being bigger and stronger. It's about how to keep this freaking inflammation down. I mean, arthritis, whatever the hell it is, whatever is going on in our bodies at this age, I'm trying to, get rid of it because if I push myself too hard and I have that achiness, it can sometimes last for weeks. I mean, so to me, that's more important.
Do you think, is there anything that you don't know?
No, I mean,
what to do about to bring
no, I mean, I've told you before, Ian, I've been living on the anti-inflammatory NSAIDs, and I'm prescribed meloxicam, and I've tried the naltrexone, and occasionally I've arm wrestled with the day with prednisone. I mean, I've been doing everything that I think that I can possibly do to feel healthy, but it's still it's not 100%. I mean, if somebody out there knows what's going on chemically inside the human body at the age that we are, that causes this degradation of just feeling sore all the time.
How about stem cell that
I don't know, because stem cell would be the only place I would consider stem cell would be this knotted up shoulder, this back shoulder of mine that I've been dealing with for years and years and years. And I got reintroduced to talking to some guys that are into the rehab thing, and I've been using the racquetball to try to roll it every night. And I've done this in the past, and it never seemed to help. But I'm attempting it again to try to get everything aligned and unknotted. But I mean, that would be the only thing that I would actually consider stem cell, and that would be me thinking that my something is actually torn in there that they haven't saw in the past, they haven't seen in the past. Of course, I went in for shoulder surgery. I went and had the MRI done, and they really couldn't see, but they went in there anyway, and it was 6 anchors, and my labrum was pretty much completely tore out of my arm, but it still never fixed what I went in there for. So, and sometimes in the back of my mind, I think to myself that the couple doctors that I've gone to, they haven't really put the effort to investigate to find it. I know it's there, but no one's found it yet. And when I go back,
using those tapes, kinesio tapes before trainings, because you don't train every day.
I've never messed with those. I don't know how that would feel.
No, I mean, it would help you to not to have maximum pressure there. It would support those.
Right. Well, here we go. Right. Here we go back to the question: how hard would you train? So yes, that train. That's my weak link. When I start pulling really hard, and my shoulder goes click 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 click, pop 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 pop. Then I think, oh well, shit. That's going to screw me up for weeks now. So, I mean, it's really, but to me, I mean, I got to do that, right, to get stronger in the other areas. And I'm hoping that it eventually will strengthen that shoulder, but it seemingly always seems to aggravate it and make it worse. So I don't know where the balance is on that. Maybe supporting it with tape and not putting so much pressure on it, but how important that downward elbow to your torso movement is. I mean, it supports the hand, it supports everything. It's what makes the stability in your hand and wrist, even with the side pressure. And that's not there. It's a whole different ball game of trying to control somebody and bring somebody down, to the without it. So, but hence my struggle of shoulder, but
some super chats building up here. I don't want these guys to start yelling at me, so I'm going to ask a couple of them. Levon's liver is back with another question. He wants to know, back in 2006, when you were in your prime, Did anybody give you a hard time in practice?
Yeah, I mean, I trained with a pretty good group back then. I've been trying to remember 2006 where I was at, but I've had some really great training partners, and a really solid big team in Utah. Fresh for fresh with a tournament situation or ready to go, I would blow all the guys out of the water. But when it's practice and you're purposely pulling slower or easing into it and creating a pump and getting the work, I mean, a bunch of high school kids, 10 high school kids could, give you a good workout. So, yes, there was people that were giving me good work back in 2006, but on a fresh for fresh, ready to go, I was, there wasn't too many people at that point that were messing with me. It's nice to see that my top competition, Farid Usmanov, at that day back in 06, 07 is still doing really well to this day. So it makes me think, okay, well, arm wrestling wasn't such a low level back in 2006.
He will be in Istanbul when you pull Petrenko. He will be there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he will be coming as a visitor.
Yeah, you got a lot of big stars coming for this next one. With
Gary Goodrich, Alex Kudelcha, Gennady, Levan, and Dennis. All these are not pulling, but they will be there. Yeah.
Wow. It's like the Academy of Arm Wrestling with those guests, honestly.
I want to be grateful to people, you understand? I see us like a family. Yeah. That's how it is.
The whole world knows that you are, Engin. I'm telling you, everybody knows.
I invited Devon too, but he wasn't available. If Devon would come also, come on, the weight of the greatness in the building would be
right. I'm surprised that he doesn't figure that would be something that would be beneficial for him as far as his followers and the YouTube thing. I mean, it's got to be a moneymaker for him.
He's coming. He said he's going to come in January.
Okay.
We will talk a little bit more, Okay, what's the other question? Sorry about it.
The next one is from Arm Wrestling Hooker, wants to know, are John and Devon going to have a practice soon?
We are practicing on Monday at noon, and Devon's documentary team is going to be here tomorrow, and they're spending a little bit of time with me just by myself tomorrow. But they would have to release that footage, so don't expect. I can't. They promised me to tell everybody that's going to be at the practice, no video, no taping, no iPhones. So there's not going to be probably any footage of it unless they say it's okay to leak whatever out. But yes, we are all pulling on Monday at noon. Devon's coming out. Travis Badgent's going to be here. Brandon Allen, the guys that I pull with, Eric, Dustin, and a few other local guys. So should be a pretty solid practice.
Hell yeah, that sounds awesome. Yeah, I'll look forward to that footage. That's going to be amazing when it comes out. I don't blame him for telling everybody not to film it, because that's going to be like millions of views.
I have a question for you, Josh. You are training partner of Jerry. Do you see him stronger than August Shape?
Yeah, he's stronger than he was when he pulled Gennady, for sure. Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure.
He's trained straight through the whole time. And I mean, it's kind of hard for us to tell because he's a lot better than everybody up here, honestly. But you can still, like, we can watch how fast he breaks down in practices. And, like, for example, the last big practice we did with Gennady, after about, let's say 45 minutes in, he started to be beatable by some of us. And then this one we did a few weeks ago, at the end of the practice, he was still crushing everybody. And it was the same group of people. We had a lot of people just beating him up. And his endurance is significantly better. And I think his overall strength level is better too. So,
that other one is more important. Endurance. If the match goes, the endurance game is the favorite for sure.
Yeah.
But
is his cardio based on just arm wrestling a lot for a lengthy period of time, or is he doing any like road work or bicycling or anything like that?
I talked to him about, a few of us have talked to him about that, John, because he tends to get big with all those chicken wing eating contests and everything. I was like, losing 15 or 20 pounds, it's not functional weight that he's losing. So it's going to help him in terms of like his blood flow in the event. So he did actually drop like I think 25 pounds training for Gennady, and I think he had a goal weight in mind for Hermes, which is a little bit lower than that.
Okay, right.
Not, it's basically he's trying to eat a little bit smarter and he's training more. So I think
Right. Because I was stage side when his first match with Gennady, and it looked like he definitely needed some help and some oxygen, because he was not only just looking tired, he was looking like I can't get enough air in my system at all to even stay alive.
it's scary sometimes watching him pull, to be honest.
Yeah.
I think it's something that a lot of us talk to him about, but people have to do things their own way, as you know.
Right.
A couple more super chats, a whole bunch of them now. This is from Jarvis Wilson. John, you utilized a super fast shoulder press against Dennis in one of your matches. Do you still have that transition to flop press?
I still have it. The only reason it was effective against Dennis, at that particular moment, it was that he was completely blown up to the point where he couldn't function at all. So I was just kind of showing off. Just, it wasn't something that, I needed to do. But yeah, no, I still have I have a shoulder press. But yeah, I don't expect it. I would use it.
No.
And I have a question. Just 1 second. If how much Petrenko match is important before the Dennis match? Would it affect you in a negative or positive way, the result of that match?
No.
Just say that if you would lose to Petrenko.
No, I'm hoping it won't affect them in a positive or negative. That's more important to me than how it's going to affect me. I pretty much would say yes. If I was 80 years old, to pull Dennis, if they asked me to pull Dennis, I mean, it's not about my, I mean, I'm going to give it my full
legendary match.
I'm going to say yes, no matter what kind of shape I think I am in, or what my chances. If it's 1,000,000 to 1, I still would say, well, I still got a chance. I would still say yes.
Well, to gauge yourself, Petrenko match is more of a challenge.
Yeah. Petrenko, I expect will be just as high a level as Angrabaya. It could swing either way. For myself, I could be super, or, I mean, that's the thing with arm wrestling. I mean, you can be that 0.01% equal, and it could look horrible. And only the two competitors know how close, and afterwards,
the 1% or less than 1% is just going there. And if it comes in your way, and then the rest is very easy, as you say.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But I had another thought, but now it's my old age. I forgot what I was going to say. But anyway, back to Dennis. I mean, I'm hoping that. I mean, I don't even know. I mean, it's funny. Like I said, with their confidence level of, we're not sure if he's going to be 100% or we got to make sure that he's able to. I'm like, okay, well, what kind of version do they really want of me? I mean, do they want me smashing people and being like I'm level of the highest level, or do they want sacrificial?
Does it make
well,
difference?
I don't know what's going through their head. I mean, what kind of person do they want me to, do they want me to show up in destroy mode, or do they want me to show up in, this is a little teaser match for Dennis for his comeback? I mean, so I'll accommodate either.
No. I think it's up to. I think it's up to you. I don't think that your opponent is gonna tell you.
Yeah, no. So my point is, if I smash Petrenko, which I'm just saying, what if possibly I just mow through them and is that going to make them go, well, maybe Dennis isn't ready yet. Maybe we'll wait another year.
No. First, they're gonna put.
They're still gonna want it. So they probably want to see me be.
I mean, maybe they will not want to pull you if you lose Petrenko, but not.
That's the other side of it too. Like, okay, well, are they gonna just dismiss me as being really weak?
My opinion. No matter what the result of Petrenko versus John,
right?
John Brzenk versus Dennis match. It doesn't matter. There is nothing that can affect this as long as you guys are able to train and get ready.
Right.
I mean, that match is just like very big match,
Right.
Very big match, yeah. In any ways.
Agreed.
Yeah, because after Petrenko, was it 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 4 short weeks after that, I'm facing Michael Todd. So I mean, it's not. I could be a 3-time loser here shortly.
Yeah, Michael is not gonna come there 100% either.
Oh, Michael's going to be 100%. Michael is the best version
I don't know
of
what
Michael.
kind of war he's gonna have with Brzenk. We don't know.
Yeah. No, yeah.
But he recovers better than you do, huh? That's what you're saying.
Excuse me?
He recovers better than you do.
Oh, yeah. I think gym wise, he's definitely 10 times in better shape than I am as far as, he's got 10 years on me. So he's got the youth factor, but yeah, he's definitely, I'm sure he'll bounce back.
Well, I think that's all that's going to improve for him too, because he's a little bit lighter, his commitment to being in shape versus as big as he could be. I think that's going to help too.
Yeah, no, I think so too.
I think like this Michael better than that hardly breathing, just
Absolutely.
290 pounds. Yeah, this one is looking very healthy, very athletic, and he can do all kind of things. I think his endurance will be there, his speed will be there. Yeah.
Oh, I agree. His frame's not big enough to be, Levon, no matter what he does. So I think it's a better choice to stay in the light heavyweights.
I'm just thinking that there's only 3 of us on this show, and I think we still have 150 years between the 3 of us, which is But speaking of old guys, another question from Makedonic 111 says, what is John's opinion on Engin versus Devon at 100 kilos? He says he thinks Engin could surprise and cause some damage.
But John, not the fat 90 kilo Engin, but just like
100 kilo. Different. Yeah, I mean, I
wouldn't go to that match, like how I am, I would go there. You can imagine how I would go there,
Yeah, I mean, if I'm honest, I don't know. I mean, I've never. I mean, the last time I experienced your hit was when you were 150 pounds in Reno back probably 30 years ago. So, I mean, if you tell me you can get to the point where you've get that old explosiveness back, I mean, that's Devon's weakness. I mean, Devon can be exposed. We've yet to see how Devon is able to handle guys like Arslanaliyev, the super explosive arm wrestlers.
That's the way to beat
him. Yeah, the only way to beat him.
He's gonna
he's gonna beat you. He's gonna beat you. So if he stops you, he's gonna beat you.
Yeah.
So,
but 100 kilo Devon, I just do not know. Like the Devon at the wild shape,
he's still gonna be super strong.
Super strong, yes, but he is not like unbeatable, like there is some people in 100 kilo versus wild shape of Devon in the world that could cause problems to him.
I think at 100 kilos, at 100 kilos, Devon's going to still have the great endurance, probably even better than he does at 120 kilos.
His endurance. If you are pulling Devon, you shouldn't worry about his endurance.
Right.
You should worry about his explosiveness.
His power. Right.
Yeah. This is what I'm saying.
Yeah. No, I agree. It'll be interesting to see Devon at 105, 110 or whatever he decides he wants to get down to. I mean, it's way better for him for super matches. There are going to be a ton more matches that are people are going to want to see that are way more interesting than him staying in the heavies. I mean, he still should dabble in the super heavyweights. Obviously, there's a lot of people would love to see how he would do against Gennady and Pradecha and all the big guys. Yeah, everybody except Levon, but he's got definitely a lot of options.
You versus Devon 230. What do you think? How do you see that? But he will be 230 as well.
Yeah, I think I've got a lot of chances that I wasn't able to utilize the last time we pulled. Obviously, I feel like without the strap, it just depends on a lot of factors. The rule set, the referees, the situation. I mean, I would still love to be in a class that Devon's in, a regular arm wrestling event that has double elimination. I think I'd be so much more effective to win the tournament than Devon would be because at 230, because he typically is going to be in some tougher matches or endurance matches where I would be pop. So, I mean, obviously the situation be a lot better for me in that situation to be able to have one match and then sit down and rest for 20 minutes instead of having to arm wrestle again in a minute. But yeah, no, in a 6-round super match, it's still tough with Devon, but just because he's so
rounds. You need to win 3.
5 rounds. Yeah. So even if I felt like I could pop a match out of him, 1 match, 2 matches, 3 is tough, 4 is tough, or 5, so it's tough.
You need to have the setup so as quick as possible.
Yeah, no, I don't feel like he would just crush me like he did in Dubai. I mean, and just shut me completely down from match 1. I think I have enough still left in me to make that questionable. And it just depends on how that match would end. The first match, the second match, obviously, But yeah, it wouldn't be a cakewalk. I don't think. But so
he says he would crush you.
Crush me, right? Yeah, I heard the crushing.
He said to Raymond, and he asked Raymond, "What do you think?" And he said, "I think John would beat you." He said, "Like really?"
Yeah.
He asked like really, and then whenever something is surprising to Hermes says, "Serious? Are you serious?" Serious? I love these guys. Yeah.
Got a couple of comments.
Yeah.
One is from Kazi, and it says to John, if you have shoulder pain, try not to sleep on your shoulder.
Yeah, well, it's gotten to the point where my left shoulder hurts as much as my right one. Well, not as much as my right one, but it hurts enough where I roll over 100 times throughout the night. I can't sleep on my back. I'm a side sleeper, and it's just I need to investigate and maybe try to find some special arrangement or pillow or something to prop my arm up a little bit better. But yeah,
when you get older, you are like, after a point you are thinking that it's not worth. I'm gonna sleep.
Yeah, no. Still, sleep is still more important to me than damaging or making my shoulder hurt. I still gotta.
And then the HF Razor says, "Legends keep pulling and don't worry about winning." Just a little positive.
No, I mean, I think I've accepted the role of being the old guy that a lot of young gunslingers want to test themselves on, and I'm willing to accept that role for the next 5, 6, 7, I don't know, maybe even 10 years.
Wow.
So yeah, win or lose, I like to be thought of as the gauge of the gatekeeper of excellence. So we'll see how long I can maintain that.
We'll lose a lot, once you stop pulling, just while they can still see it is good, even you are limited. Don't get me wrong when I said limited, because of your injuries, you can't do everything you could when you were young, correct?
Right.
Yeah.
But I could, but I can still put up a decent fight. Yeah. So.
Yes. This is what I'm just saying, that your limited version is better than the rest of us.
It's competitive, at least. Still competitive.
No, I mean about the arm wrestling ability and quality I'm talking about. You win, you lose, a different thing, But the way that you pull, the way that you're doing transition, the way that you have ability to generate finishing power in almost any position, which is incredible.
Well, thank you.
There is no hand position that you are put that you can't apply pressure to the pin pad, especially if your shoulder, back shoulder. I remember Taras put you everything out like this.
Oh, right.
Like we were like, what the hell is it? How can that be even possible? We were like,
that's probably what screwed my shoulder up.
That is why you are hurt, because you were 90, maximum 100 kilo guy all your life, pull against those monsters. I remember in US, when there is enough money, you were pulling 90, 100 over or whatever, pulling many categories. So all that puts so much pressure. And do you agree that the shoulder is the late career injury? Like the early career is this inner
elbow.
And then later we develop here. And then this is coming the latest, in my opinion and experience.
Yeah, but when I really analyze it, I mean, I think that area is definitely an indicator of a good arm wrestler. I mean, I look at the Babayevs and it's funny how as you get older, you start to realize, oh, okay, the structure of that lat and that shoulder is actually way more of a key indicator of potential greatness than the biceps or the pushing or the triceps. It's such a, obviously once it's hurt, you realize, oh wow, I really use that a lot. That's definitely a super important muscle to have to be effective at arm wrestling.
Yeah, once it gets broken, you realize the absence of it, and then you realize how important it was. Yeah.
I wish I knew how to strengthen it without irritating it. But I haven't figured that out yet.
I don't think anyone 40 years billionaire.
What's
that? I said if anybody had figured that out, they'd be a billionaire because we all have questions, kind of thing. And
yeah,
I think
is also coming. What's another question?
Yeah, there's another question. I was just saying, I think you're right about how much interest there is seeing Dennis versus John, because most of these questions have been about it. This one's from Trailblazer. What is it? Trailblazer 82 says, John, did the thickness of Dennis's hand cause you any issues in your last match?
No, because the thickness, he didn't have any. He couldn't really close his hand because it was so thick that he couldn't really control the back of my hand. So I felt somewhat comfortable with Dennis just because I knew I could put my hand and get my hand in a cup position to apply maximum pressure. He wasn't so swallowing that he could turn me over. His hand was obviously strong and thick, but it wasn't long enough and cuppable, So, but he's realized that he can just kind of pronate almost with his hand open now and be way more effective than what he was trying to do. But yeah, no, it didn't affect me as much as someone like Devon's hand does, or some of these, Matt Mass hand that are more.
You don't like the people; they are more going away and with height, just like Travis or Matt.
Yeah. Well, those are different strengths that I've hated also in my career, because I've liked to be able to have the hand control to pronate into their hand, and those guys that have the high posting top rolls make that difficult off the go. You almost have to change your strategy of almost trying to hook to get them at an angle before you apply that pressure. So it's kind of a timing thing, more of a speed thing, and it makes you vulnerable to getting top rolled if you can't control it to the hook first. But yeah, guys that are posting with a longer fingered hand, stronger hand than Dennis is. Dennis pretty much in our last match gave me every opportunity to apply maximum effort to roll his hand out. As thick as it wasn't.
Somehow not other people could find that opportunity with him, even in those years that you said he was inexperienced.
Yeah.
There's another question from Legia, who says, who are John's current favorite pullers to watch?
Let me guess one. Maybe Prudnik one, maybe.
Yeah, Prudnik's kind of boring though. I mean, he's just so dominant. It makes it look so easy.
What can he do if he's so good?
Yeah, he's so good that it's not fun. And boy, I hate to jump on the bandwagon of all the fighting and arguments that I'm going to get from saying something like, Jerry Cataret or Monster Michael Todd. But yeah, I mean, I like watching these crazy, unorthodox, horrible positions that people are just fighting through with every last bit of energy they have. I mean, it's definitely more enjoyable to me than watching even just a smooth, effective, great technique match. So Yeah,
So you
I've
found
fallen.
yourself boring as well then, because
I fought. Yeah.
during your career you were
Yeah,
also that dominant.
I would hate watching myself. I mean, I think I'm the probably most boring arm wrestler on the planet.
Come on.
Yeah.
Not true, not true.
So, because most of I'm not the endurance guy. I don't have the long, drawn out, hard fought, blood, sweat, and tears match that some of these other guys do. And I think most of the public likes the drama that goes along with these 2, 3, 4, 10-minute matches. I mean, the Dave Chafee,
Italy?
Batali match. Yeah. I mean, who doesn't love that? I mean, so, yeah, any match that's a hard fought match, and it's hard with arm wrestling. Arm wrestling, the rule set is such that it's normally pretty decisive, right? One way or the other. I mean, it's if you get to
last 30 years or 40 years, I should say, who has been the most famous boxer in last 40 years from 1980 to today?
Well, to me, it's always Mike Tyson, and he's
what kind of boxer he was?
Yeah. Explosive, just knock your butt out.
People like different things
To see
people
that, yeah.
Dominant people, they see like a Superman, untouchable.
Right.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah,
Very true.
I don't know. I think more people get inspired by watching two guys really leave it all on the table and gutting it out, though, than they do just watching someone be so dominant. And I don't know. To me, I don't know.
Yeah, I understand. And how do you see Brudnik versus Michael? People says that it is like mismatch, very easy match for Brudnik. Do you agree with that?
No. I think Michael's in my mind, Michael's going in as probably the favorite. Evgeny's got to just do everything right, and I'm not sure Evgeny's ever been put in the position to really think about what's going to happen to him. I think Evgeny is going to be a lot more effective against Michael the next time they pull. I think this is going to be a learning experience for him. I think, he might end up
dominate him. He cannot dominate him.
I don't think he's going to dominate him. No, I don't think.
This is what I was asking. Who did dominate Michael? I mean, in last some years, who dominated him?
Yeah,
I mean,
I think Evgeny's probably, he's probably going to be the most, hand, wrist, solid cupping ability other than Lavon. I think Evgeny is the second best at probably doing all those things, but as good as and as strong as even Dave Chafee is with that move, and he has a difficult time with Mike. So it will all be told how much effort Evgeny, if he's strong enough in the hand and wrist and the cup to be able to really put Mike out of position and beat him quick. I could see the match going quick for Evgeny, but I see Michael being able to stop it. And then it's going to be how smart is Evgeny? Hey, have we ever seen Evgeny do a shoulder roll? Never, ever shoulder roll.
When you are so dominant technically, that is the problem, because you are so dominant in technical, you always get the match in your way because you have so super control. But once you meet someone like Michael, and somehow if he puts you in an unorthodox way arm wrestling, then the trouble starts, because you are not used to putting in such position, because you like to control the pronator, do this. Yeah.
And I'm not
strong, yes, but if he's not that strong, he may be in trouble.
Right. Well, and the problem is, even if he is that strong to get that position, if he can't quite finish, is he going to be smart enough to go, okay, center position, just hold, maintain, let my opponent wear himself out just as much as I'm wearing myself out? Or is he going to be a Pushkarov, just harder, and just burning himself out by trying to win with what he feels is the best possible way? So I think Evgeny is strong enough to get the cup, get the position on Mike, and not have the arm strength to finish. But he's going to have to be smart enough to, set back to center, just maintain this position, climb a little bit if I have to, be very patient, count to 20, count to 30, and then maybe hit again. And then if that doesn't work, then commit to a press. at some point, I think the match is going to have to be won with a press.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I don't know if that's in his brain to have that.
The reason I'm laughing when you are talking, because you're gonna pull Michael 3 weeks and you are telling us exactly what you're gonna do.
He knows exactly what I will try to do. He knows it. I in my mind, there's only one key that will unlock Michael, and it has to be performed perfectly for me. I mean, it's a tough challenge, and I think Prudnik is definitely way more capable than I will be. It's whether or not he has mentally gone through it in his head to deduce.
And
that.
if we just quickly predict the matches quickly, and then we can finish. We don't want to keep you so long. And also, Josh, like you say that Michael Prudnik, if you go by percentage, you would say like 50-50, or it's just John?
Oh, me. You're asking me. I'm gonna go. I'll go 60-40, Michael.
Wow. And you, Josh?
I agree.
You agree? Wow.
I mean,
If you look at the
everything
internet
John
poll,
said.
he's down like 70-30, 80-20. You know, the Michael is underdog on the social media. That's to me, it looks very close. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you
No,
saw the. Sorry. Go ahead, John.
Go ahead. No.
You go ahead.
So yeah, I mean, I see Evgeny, even if he explosively is able to control and pop Michael the first match, second match, I still think Michael has a chance to win the best of 5. Yeah. So there was going to be some point in that super match that Evgeny's going to have to do the right things technically to win.
Mhm.
It's not going to be about his strength, his power, his.
Absolutely.
And John versus Petrenko? Come on, don't be humble.
Yeah, I'm gonna say he's probably gonna. I don't know. He's gonna be just as good as Ungarbayev. So I'm gonna say 50-50. I'm feeling like it's gonna be.
Also, you are not ill this time. You are not ill this time. You're healthy. So.
Oh yeah, no, I'm healed. I don't have any cold or cough or respiratory issues. But I'm not sure that made any difference with Ungarbayev. Ungarbayev was just that I left that match thinking, oh man, I screwed up pulling just way too hard in that second match when I got put out of position, and that ruined me. I got to be smarter. But it's hard to, it's easy afterwards. Oh, what? But you get caught up in thinking.
You don't want to say as an excuse.
But
only 2 days before you come here, you said you almost called me and saying I'm not coming. And so I know you cannot say, if you say this, people say, oh, excuse this, but I know that you told me that, Engin, I had fever and I almost told you I couldn't get up from the bed. I am sure that I'm not saying that Ungarbayev won. Fair, square, it's finished. But if we judge it like not as from the perspective of John, but with an objective eyes, there was a condition like it, and you had been ill for such a long time.
I don't. It's more to me. Arm wrestling is about more. I mean, yes, you need to be strong, but that wasn't a factor as much as just the situation, the timing, and just letting. It was a mental failure more than a physical failure for me. To me, I mean, I didn't feel like, oh, I'm drained, I'm wore out. I felt like I still had the strength and power to put up, just as normal. Sometimes in the past, I think, like I said, I've performed actually better when I've just healed and not in any kind of good shape, or even being a little sick. I mean, so it's not as big a factor as just the way things happen and how you respond to them during the match, and it's. It's so much. It can mess you up so much worse in a super match if you don't respond correctly and do the right things, because you don't have 20 minutes or an hour to go back and sit at your seat and think about it and completely recoup. You've got to
something will change when you meet him again.
Yeah, no, I'm super excited to pull him again. I would love to pull him again. I mean, the first time I didn't know where I stood against him. Like I told you before, when Igor proposed it to me with the top 8, I thought to myself, well, I'm just too out of it. I won't be able to compete with those, other 7 guys. But
Yeah.
now I feel like, I still, I could still be competitive. So yeah,
to-
I look very much forward to a rematch with Krigali.
Yeah, I will as whenever you want. And how do you see this match, Josh?
I think John has an edge because of the hand fighting. Just because I've seen Oleg get his hand taken a few times and end up pressing, I feel like that's a window for John that he didn't have with Ongarbayev. So I think I'm in favor of John on that one.
I understand. And Hermes Gasparini versus Artem Taino, not Artem Taino, Artem Morozo, left arm.
After that King of the Table match a couple weeks ago, I think I'm going to go with Morozov on that one.
Morozo. And you, John?
I'll stick with my boy Hermes. I think he's going to be able to pop him.
Yeah.
But if it gets stopped, then Hermes will be done.
But it depends on the position too.
Yeah, of course.
Which position is stopped? Yeah.
Right.
And Jerry versus Hermes.
Well, I think Jerry's going to win. I mean, my only concern, as I mentioned earlier, is is if he keeps his elbow on the pad. I think if he does, I think Hermes. We've seen the best top rollers in the world try to beat Jerry and fail in the past, and I know Hermes is a very different person and he's got different skills. But I still, until a top roller beats Jerry, I'm gonna keep picking him.
Right. I think it's a 50-50 match also. Hermes is gotten bigger and gotten stronger, and I've seen him when he's been a little guy, he will commit with pushing and going sideways with the shoulder when he pulled Michael Todd way back when. So I know he's capable and he has the arm strength and the ability to have a lot more side pressure than most great top rollers do. So, but Hermes just got to be able to be smart. I mean, he's got to rely on his side pressure and his arm strength more than his top roll. So, and if he does that, I think Hermes probably has a little bit of an edge, but I think it's going to be another learning experience for Hermes. Everybody that pulls Jerry walks away going, okay, all right, now I know, and now I see, and then can refigure, but.
Yeah, and Revas versus Morozo. How do you see that match, John? Do you see this? You think it may be a good match, or?
Oh yeah, they're both. I mean, that's a battle of the hands, right? I mean,
yeah, but he has also hook ability. Morozov has that plus. Yeah, Morozov can hook and top roll, but while Revas is mostly outside. Yeah.
Yeah, to be able to stop Dave Chafee like Morozov did, I think that that's super impressive in my mind. Revas, I don't know. I don't have much experience with him, so. But he looks like he's got an incredible top roll. But I don't even know. Two big, strong guys seemingly having the same strengths should be fun.
Mm-hmm. And the only thing is about that match, Morozo have been at top and pushing, while Revas was away since 2018 Moldova event that you competed.
Yeah.
And almost 3.5 years he was away, and then only 2 months I called him, and he was not training. In 2 months he trained, he pulled with Michael, and then he trained a little bit more, 2.5 months more. There was 2.5 months between East versus West 3 and 4, and then he beat Derek, and now he has another 3.5 months. I think that because of his size and structure, he has something more to go than Morozo. Morozo is going too, but Morozo is already pushing. He's going but tiny bit, while the other guy just started, and he has never been at his best because he never took arm wrestling that seriously. But he said now he has a dream to beat Levon.
Right. I don't think either one of them. I think, I hate to say it like this, but I think that match will be. Neither one of them have much of a defensive. I see that match as being boring one way or the other. It's going to be boom or boom, right? As soon as one guy gets the better position with the hand and wrist, they're going to be strong enough to beat the other guy. But
sometimes, if it's boring or not, some matches needs to happen for the rankings.
Yeah. Of course.
Some matches,
It's still exciting to see what happens after that go.
Yeah. Like Levan versus Devon. Technically, it was not also so exciting match, but we had to see it. We had to see
Right.
what's going to happen there. So that is. And how you see that match, Josh?
I think what John said earlier. I mean, what happened with Chafee is the answer for me. I just can't pick against him now because that was so impressive to me. And plus, I mean, just he's such a resilient puller that I feel like he's emerging and he's getting better and better. To reframe what you just said as well, Engin. So I'm definitely picking Morozov in that one. And let me add in a comment from Arun Prasad, who said John's match with Corey was exciting to watch for everyone. It was a long fought war, and he had a lot of fun watching it. Just a comment on there.
Thanks.
I waited till 4 a.m. to watch here, and then the next thing I was like, Hermes is sending me WhatsApp message. Did you see that? Did you see it? Like 4 a.m. in the morning? Like, John is hero. John is great. Did you see what he did?
I'd like to pull Corey again. That was enough fun for me to do it again. We'll see if that's in the cards for me. But
don't get hurt. Just don't
I
get
like
that
Corey.
shoulder.
Yeah.
There's one more page question here. I'm going to ask it, but you don't have to answer it if you don't want to. It's again from Levan's liver. Who are the top 3 cheaters in arm wrestling right now?
Cheaters. I mean, how are we defining cheaters? Someone that
Social
exposes the rules to their fullest without being caught. That's the cheater. Then I'm going to put, the guys that are so obsessed with the sport, Devon's got to be on the top of the list. He's not a cheater, but is there a guy out there other than yourself, Engin, that has analyzed and spent the time and hours and effort looking at every little aspect?
I analyzed to how to win, but he analyzed how to also
super deep thought there. So I'm going to put Devon as probably the most deep thinker / cheater, just best analyzer of the sport.
I have a question for you. The Prudnik versus Matt Mask. Did you watch that match like closely later or something?
I just got caught up in the rah, 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 rah.
No, but did you like I didn't watch. It was just so big, argument, but like I asked the referee, Christo from Bulgaria, I said, like, was Prudnik really cheating, and like when I said cheating, it does not like cheating, but was he really like doing things that, Matt was saying, he said, yeah.
Right.
So he said he asked to Prudnik, like, why you were even stronger, why you needed to do that, because after the round 3, when Prudnik won quickly, and then Matt asked him, brother, like you are clearly stronger, so why you did that, all this,
right?
Christo asked to Prudnik, and Prudnik said that he didn't have very good preparation, and after he lost against Tobias with left arm, so he kind of a little bit panicked. I cannot say really cheating, but he was just like using his, how to say, like same as Devon, using his
fullest abilities, every option available to make the match get over with. It's people approach matches differently though, right? I mean, some guys, if they feel like they're super strong, will want to give a little away and test and give the competitor a chance. And others are just still completely frightened to death and scared. Maybe it's a sign of respect, I think, that Prudnik had of Matt, feeling like Matt could have possibly popped him if he let down even in the slightest. So, I mean, I don't know.
He didn't take a risk. He didn't take a chance. So he did everything.
No, didn't want to take the chance. Yeah. And to me, it doesn't hardly make any sense. Just for me personally, the position, in the situation with Supermatch, I mean, it's different if it's an open tournament and there's a semi truck to be won. Then your mindset is, cheat as much as I could cheat to get rid of this field of people, But if it's a super match and you're wanting to test yourself and your all your abilities and you want to, allow your opponent to test his abilities, and and there's nothing to be won. I don't know. To me, it's a different approach. I mean, I would definitely
if you compare Devon and Travis with each other.
Yeah, well, Travis does what he does because of his capabilities. I mean, Travis needs to be the way he is before the go because he's all about being super explosive. Bang. Yeah, the start. Yeah. So, yeah. Devon, on the other hand,
Devon does the same thing just to catch the guy as also.
Well, he's doing the opposite just to not get this great start, but he's doing it just to
get flushed.
Piss the opponent off and get him all worked up and riled up because he's sucking the energy out of him.
Yeah. Imagine, Rudnick and Devon is pulling, they when they are pulling, they get in grip and things will be interesting to see.
Yeah.
But
Travis doesn't want to spend a lot of time on the setup. If he had his way, because he's a explosive, pop hitter. He doesn't want to, show you anything until after the go. So completely different set of
saying that Neil Pickup calls it the tricky bastard scale.
The tricky bastard scale. Yeah. It's not a negative to be on that list. To me,
well, it's Devon is on the everybody's a bunch of comments. Travis, Devon, Don Underwood is one that's shown up. Nobody's mentioned Jason Vale, but he was definitely high on the list up here in the Northeast.
Yeah. Dave Patton, have a cheater, because he just never he would. I mean, he could be arm wrestling a 6th grade school kid, and he would not allow. Like I would say, Dave. I mean, I don't know. He just didn't have the confidence in his abilities to even try to, let out a little rope for the poor guy to see, to test himself and allow the other guy to test himself. So, yeah. Dave was definitely probably giving Devon some competition because there was just no room for anybody. That Dave came to the table giving it his 100% best, no matter who you were. And some people thought that was, that just was not sportsmanlike and cheating and, give the poor guy a chance. I mean, he's just a school kid, but no, Dave would hammer him.
Yeah. John, Sanders versus Matt Mask.
I don't know how good Sanders is. I mean, I hear the name all the time. I've seen him a few times. He's big, imposing, but
against Chance, right? Chance show.
Yeah.
Chance was better in hook, and Chance was better in Sanders was better in top rope. Before the match, we expected the opposite way.
Right.
Yeah. But we thought that Sanders was gonna try to hook him or something, but it went the opposite way.
Yeah. Matt's definitely not as strong as Chance is, I think, in arm to arm. I mean, Matt's a little bit better with the height and the hand strength, but I'm not sure what kind of if Matt's arm side pressure would hold up to Sanders. So it's
how did you think, like when you saw Krasimir and Matt Mask, did you think that it was as dominant as Irakli's win against Krasimir?
I don't know. Repeat that question. So Krasi and Irakli.
Yeah, you saw the Matt Mask versus Krasimir, right?
Yeah, Krasi. I don't know where Krasi's at though. I mean, Krasi's. Yeah, I mean, it's hard. It's hard to gauge not knowing when the one-sided verbal that we put at such a high level 2-3 years ago is now getting beat decisively by guys that you think, oh, I mean, we put Vitali at number 2 in the world just because of his match with Krasi, how dominant he was, and to be able to play with him in a hook, and it was like, okay, but nobody took into consideration that Krasi's not the same Krasi as we remember him. So, yeah. hard to say, but both of them will pull probably the same Krasi. So.
And the thing is, when you saw Dave Chaffee versus Laletin match, and did you think that is there any possibility that Jerry, Gennady, Morozo, and say Revas, these guys are now close to that where we thought that Laletin is?
Oh,
Yeah?
of course. Of
Yeah,
course.
so anything can happen in there, right? Anything
Yeah,
can
of course. Of course.
Yeah, and especially when you saw Ferit beating Laletin.
Yeah.
Ferit
No,
is a
yeah,
match
yeah,
with
no, yeah,
Gennady.
that's, yeah, definitely,
How do you
definitely
think it's
that.
gonna go?
You're right.
Ferit and Gennady, how do you think it's gonna go?
From what I saw of Mr. Usmanov in Russia, I think he's well-rounded enough to beat Gennady. I think he's not only got the top roll advantage, but he also possesses obviously the inside move to finish it once he gets that hand advantage. But yeah, if it goes wrist to wrist and Gennady somehow is able to keep it wrist to wrist, then it's good. It's a war.
But there is a pulse. If they both go outside, I think Ferit is gonna top.
There is stronger. I think it's stronger hand. Yes.
This is more solid. Yeah. By the way, Rustam Babayev is also coming in January to East versus West.
Oh, cool. Who are you gonna put him up against? Is he gonna pull?
I don't know if I should say the name because he has a match. Then after that match, okay, I will tell you. But if he wins or if he doesn't win, I don't know. If Pauline beats, but Rustam is not trained.
Okay.
So this time he's coming back. You understand? He just started.
Right.
He will have like 3 months or something preparation. And do you think that he versus Pauline 95 kilo? Anything or?
It depends on Rustam. I mean, Rustam is
Depends on
killer.
where he is.
I mean, he goes through Todd Hutchins, so Pauline's going to have to be like.
But don't
really...
you think that Pauline is more explosive to get position than Hutchins? I'm not talking about strength, but you said that we asked you, did you hook Paul? Did you allow him or he hook you? And you said Paul.
No, So the question is Todd Hutchins probably has way more side pressure than Paulin, hooking ability on his side of the table, but Paulin might have a better bicep to be able to stop that downward pressure that Rustam puts on people, which exposes Todd Hutchins. I mean, Todd obviously seemingly has a problem with people really pulling hard on his bicep. So yeah, I mean, I'm not going to count Paulin out, but that's a tall order for Paulin. I mean, that's jumping right to the top of the mountain there, right? Where does he go if he beats Rustam? I think you're.
Arsen was gonna come back, but Arsen now there was one of the guys that may be called to army in Russia, and I asked him, "Are you still training?" He said, "And we are waiting. Maybe they will call us to army as a reserve." You understand? And he said that he is not motivated, but if he is not called, then hopefully, the match that I wanted to see would never happen. Rustam Babayev versus Arsen Lilia. That match never happened.
Right.
Yeah.
I was there when his brother Ruslan pulled him, and that was a great match. But that was when Arsen was a little 165, 70 pounder.
78 kilo, 171 pounds. Yeah. And the last match I will ask you is, you saw lately Ryan Bowen. Ryan, after he lost against Ray, he went to England. He gained weight, and he beat Bogdan Stoica. Bogdan Stoica is not joke. Bogdan Stoica is not like elite level, but he's not a joke. He could be around top 5 if he's good internationally.
Right. So
he beat him, and then I don't really judge anything about his win against the Halit. So now he said he will be about 105, 107 kilo. Whenever I said Chance Shaw versus Zurab match, people like, are you crazy? Like, Zurab is gonna kill him, and like, what are you doing? I said, no. I mean, you may top roll Chance, but even Tatashing said problem to beat the guy. Even Tat doesn't give his pronator as Zurab is like this. And I said the style that I see, Zurab is giving his pronator to hook, And then the style that I see, that once Chance has his wrist fully flexed, the guy is very dangerous. And
Right.
I think if I know about arm wrestling, I don't know who's gonna win, but I said, that is not gonna be easy match. And then Chance won 3-0. I'm not
Right.
saying that Ryan is Chance, but do you think there is a possibility to him to stop Zurab somewhere at all or not at all?
Yes, I do think I think people way underestimate Ryan, and Ryan definitely
When he's
possesses
heavier, right? Whenever he's
enough back pressure in the strap to negate the side pressure. And I mean, yeah, I mean, he's probably going to go, and for sure he's not going to be the favorite, but I do think, of course, nobody wants to bring up the fact that Ryan beat Chance. I mean, it's 3-4 years ago, and it's not the same Chance and whatever. But Ryan is in the same league. I mean, he's not as explosive as Chance to probably expose that weakness of Zurab off the ready go. But
I think the difference is the side pressure that Chance has much more than.
I think it's a great match, and it can be another Ron Bath Zurab match in my mind. I mean, I think that Ryan possesses enough back pressure and side pressure to possibly make that really exciting, really long match. I think he might fail at the end, but I think he's strong enough to make it exciting.
Stop him and give him a match, you think?
Yeah, he's going to give him a match. He's going to give him a match and Ryan has shown that he's pretty resilient. He's got pretty good endurance. So
there you are saying that Ryan that we saw last time at East versus West against Ray is not the Ryan that we're talking about now. This is what you're saying.
Yeah. No, well, and Zurab doesn't.
90 kilo and 105 kilo. There are so many things to consider. Yeah.
Ray really took Brian completely out of position and turned his hand upright. I don't see Zurab doing that. I think Zurab's hook and just going side pressure, and I don't whether or not his hand holds up enough. I think it's a good match. I don't think it's an unreasonable, crazy, one-sided match that people have been saying. I think
if I would say only Ryan versus Zurab, it could be tougher. But now Zurab has a left arm match with Petrenko. So I don't think he's gonna come there by underestimating the competition, because his main competition in his mind is Petrenko with left arm. And Petrenko beat Dadikian with left arm at the last slot in 2019. Yes, I saw the match. He just hooked him and comfortably beat him. It didn't even take 3 seconds. The match that I saw only one match. I don't know how the other match was. The match that I saw was maximum 3 seconds. They hooked him and then beat him comfortably. So what I'm just saying is Zurab, I don't think Zurab is gonna go there in a regular shape. If he knew that he was gonna pull only Ryan, then he would go different. But if he's pulling Petrenko, he's going there different.
Be in top shape. It's gonna be in top shape.
Anyway, so that is what we wanted to ask. Anything you want to add, Josh? Sorry for taking so long, but
I'm having fun listening too. I mean, if Ryan wins a single match, I'm going to be shocked. Right. I've been shocked before, so
we know stop him, slow him down, or what?
Stop him. Well, I don't think Zurab is a flash pin guy anyway, so I don't think there'll be a legitimate stop now.
So you are saying that the match is not going to take 10 seconds?
Yeah, I think they're going to be. I don't see that Ryan can possibly have improved that much since the match with Ray to give Zurab a match in a few weeks. I just don't see it. I think that maybe when the version of Ryan that pulled Chance would be different, because I think he was stronger back then. I know he's a lot bigger, but I mean, just
Chance was weaker, in my opinion. I saw Chance; he was much smaller, much younger. He's now even 24. Then he was probably much younger. Yeah. I mean, I'm just not taking any side or something, but if you want to beat Zurab, the blocking his wrist down here is not enough, because he will drag you. So what you need to do not to allow you to drag you, you also need to curl him without losing your own pronator. And then if you make him turn that way, he may not drag you because you cut in his pronator the same way that Chance Shaw did it. Yeah.
Right. I just don't think Zurab's hand is possibly strong enough to really use his arm strength against Ryan. I think that will be his weakness is he's just Brian's going to be able to put him in enough out of position that he's just not going to be able to, pull maximum effort.
He does
So
that weird
it's-
stuff with his hand too, though, John, like he did in that match with you. It's like he has that bizarre position and ends up somehow pulling a pin out of it. So I feel like
Yeah,
that's something he can use. If
I
that
think
does-
yeah,
John to hold him drop was not a problem, but to finish him was a little bit problem at the end.
Yeah, yeah.
But just you also, whenever you waited, also a little bit in a losing position, you waited, you allowed him to lock his everything on you. You didn't right away put him out of position and beat him. You
Right.
allow him to apply his horsepower to the end. Then you wanted to put him out of position
Yeah.
and beat him. That
Right.
was hard. To finish him was hard, but hold him. Was it hard? So hard for you to hold him whenever he
No.
was attacking?
No,
right?
even when he took me to the center of the table like that, I felt like this is, yeah. I felt like I was in control and I had plenty of strength. It was just awkward. I was very shocked that especially you saw how displeased I was with the first call of that because I was actually, and I don't remember if I was in the strap or out of the strap. I just remember like I was pushing to make sure that he didn't slip, so that's why it happened the way it happened. But
Yeah. Those two matches, like it was just kind of like weird, Second match, you said it was your mistake to hold on, and then he just brought you there, but you could easily slip and go to strap.
Right.
Yeah. But I think the third round, when you go to strap, I think the reason that you waited, you just also wanted to prove something. You were not happy what happened in those 2 rounds.
Of course,
So
of
you
course.
just wanted to wait
Yeah,
and
of course.
prove that you are better. This is
Right.
what I realized. Yeah. Anyways, so thank you very much, John, and thanks
All
to
right.
everyone who watched us. And thank you, Josh, for helping me. And hope to see you tomorrow. And John, see you in 5 weeks.
We'll be there. I'll be I'll be there. Be ready.
Yeah, it will be an honor to host you again. Yeah.
Exciting. All right.
Yeah,
See you.
take
Talk to
care,
you later.
take care.
Take care, guys.
Bye.